Good morning. How you guys doing today? So, okay. Let me start with the way you feel about yourself. Now, like I say all the time, we all have a history. We all did fucked up shit. There's a lot of shit that's happened in our lives that we've done or that we believe define our character, define who we are. Now, when you're when you have these beliefs about yourself, like let's say you was an abusive ass person, man or woman, because I've seen both. Now, just because you did something before, or that's what you used to do, and that's what people know you for doing, it does not mean that you have to continue to do that. Okay, it doesn't mean you have to continue to lose your self-control, because ultimately that's what it is. If you are a person that has no self-control, then you gravitate easily towards abusing someone or putting your hands on somebody and doing things that you probably shouldn't be doing. So understand that if this was you at some point in time, it doesn't have to continue to be you. You have the choice to stop being that way, okay? Regardless of whatever people remember about you or how people view you now, you have that choice to say, you know what, I'm not going to do this anymore, and practice self-control and remove yourself from situations that are going to cause you to put your hands on somebody. It's not necessary. I'd like to say it's not necessary. Sometimes it is fucking necessary. People need to get punched in the fucking mouth sometimes. I'm not going to say they don't, because people act crazy as shit. But since we're being light and love, we're going to say people don't deserve to have their hands put on anybody else, Keep your hands to yourself and use your words like a big girl or a big boy. Don't be afraid to communicate. Like I said, but the hands and all that shit is not necessary. And if you have that belief that you are an abusive person, or that you're going to be, if that's a fear that you have, that you're going to enter a relationship and you're going to be triggered and you're going to be beating the shit out of people, or fucking being emotionally abusive, mentally, or whatever other combination, understand that as you grow and you change, you don't have to continue to be that way. Sorry. Things start popping up on my phone. Alright. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. Alright, so let go of anything that you believe about yourself that's no longer valid. We all have a history. We all have shit that we used to be. Like, you'd be like, oh, I used to be a hoe, or I used to have a community dick. Whatever the fuck it is, doesn't mean you necessarily have to continue that path. It's always a choice. You can choose to change at any point in time. So remember that it's your choice. Now, some of you have been worried about it looks like priorities in a relationship for some. Now, it is the holidays, and I know we all like to go shopping and do all that shit, but priority-wise, make sure you're being smart about what you're spending your money on, what you're doing with your time, okay? And understand that it's also important to say no to things that Yes, Sandy, yes, exactly. It's important to say no to things, okay? Just because it's like, oh, somebody wants you to do this, somebody wants you to do that, you don't have to do that, because it's taking away from your life and the things that you need to do. Especially if you have kids and a family, then you need to be able to spend that time with them as well, and find a balance between how you're dividing your time up within your family or your life or work or whatever it is you have going on. And also find time for yourself. It's not all about everything else, because primarily you need to take care of you. So make sure that you're taking care of yourself first and foremost, and you're doing what you need to do, and then schedule everything else after that, okay? Because we all need us time, for self-love. We need that, because then we're going to be pissed off and angry and ready to bite somebody's fucking head off. Most people won't like you like that. So Try not to be anxious. Try not to be worried. Worry is a wasted fucking emotion. It's just pointless, okay? Just, you can't change it before. You can't change after. You can only focus on now, okay? So deal with that. And this fucking communication. I know a lot of people don't communicate because of fear or whatever you guys have going on, but understand that if you're worrying about a relationship that you're trying to go into or start, put it into perspective. See how it's going to benefit your life. See what it's going to take away from your life. See what you're going to get out of this, okay? So instead of worrying and being stressed out, look at the benefits. Write down what would be the benefits of going into this relationship and what would be the benefits of staying out of the relationship, and see where your heart is, see what you're leaning towards. But it's important for you to communicate what's going on inside of you, because whoever it is that you're dealing with doesn't know that you have feelings for them. And if they do know that you have feelings for them, it's not because you told them. So understand that you need to communicate this. It is important for you to communicate this, because if you don't communicate this, that person's going to continue to assume that you don't give any fucks and live their life and probably move on with someone else. So if you haven't spoken up, speak the fuck up, okay? Figure out a way. I don't care which way you figure out. Just figure out some way to communicate your emotions, whether you write poems, fucking music, stories, whatever. Send a shitload of fucking memes. I don't care. Just express yourself in some shape, way, or form. And let me see here. By acknowledging your misdeeds and accomplishments, you learn to love them as lessons. Now, if you're worried that maybe you did something in the past that was not so nice or was hurtful to the other person to some extent, or maybe they're not even aware of the shit that you did yet. Either way, come clean with your shit, because that's the only way you're going to be able to have a, oh, thank you, obedient son, thank you. That's the only way you're going to be able to have a clean slate, something fresh to start from. So if you did something and and that's what's keeping you in your head, and you haven't spoken up about it because you're afraid of what their reaction is going to be, understand that it's going to bring peace to the situation. So it's not going to have a bad ending, but speak your truth. Be honest, okay? But you have to own the shit that you've done, because it's not going to be as bad as you're thinking in your head, okay? Especially if it's someone that has love for you. So don't be worried about that. But definitely look back at what you've done and sit with it and just spit it out. Like, really, that's the only way. Just spit the shit out. And if you're sorry for it, then apologize and say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean this, or I was in a bad place, or whatever was going on with you. Give an explanation so that way they can understand where you're coming from or what triggered those actions from you, okay? Because right now you need to move beyond the constraints of your mind and embrace the new situations that are being presented to you. But if you're going to continue to just be so stuck with whatever it was that happened before, you're not going to move forward with this relationship. And that's going to be the word I'm trying to fit is like, and I can't find it, and the words that they're giving me they're not the right words. So we'll get back to that word. Hey Taylor, how are you doing? So please just get out of your regular routine, because this is like, you're constantly working, you're constantly like doing all these things to keep you bound up and tied up so that you're not focusing on what the fuck's happening in your life. And you need to step out of that to allow people in and to allow the situation in. But you are so, what did you do? What did you do to this person that has you so fucked up in the head that you're scared to talk to them? Like, what did you do to them? Because it doesn't make sense. So, all right. When you have a true partnership, understand that you share your vulnerabilities, okay? You're open, you're honest with each other, you talk to each other. I'm good, Taylor. Hey, Dory, how you doing? And the relationship is going to push you to grow. So understand that when you have relationships, if it's not something that's pushing you to grow, forcing you to be better, it's probably not the best situation for you. You want someone that's going to challenge you, that's going to bring out the best in you, that's going to say, I believe in you. No, I know you can do better. I know you can do more. I see what you have. And that's the type of person you want to have in your life. You don't want somebody that's just going to sit there and be like, okay, that's fine, whatever, or have no interest in what you have going on in your life. You want someone that's genuinely interested in what the fuck you're doing and how you're proceeding. And, make sure you're always on the same page, communicate, have that communication, because, I'm sorry, got mad shit over here. There's a risk and a safety aspect to this. Now, when I say the risk and safety aspect, it's because, people, you're afraid. Like I said, I don't know what you did to this person that has you so caught up that you're like, cat got your tongue, you can't spit shit out. Excuse me, but you have to take that risk. If you want a change, if you want an opportunity, yes, collective messages. If you want an opportunity at having this partnership, then you need to communicate that. And if you stay in a place of safety, like, oh, well, I'm safer by myself because nobody's going to hurt me and nobody's going to make me fucking go crazy thinking about what they're doing, that's not going to be the best thing for you. At some point, you have to open up and allow people to come in because it's just out of fear. It's out of fear that you're shut down. And I get it. We all been fucked over. We've had our share of shit. But understand that this partnership, it looks like one of you, it requires tolerance, okay? It requires you to appreciate the other person's point of view and perspective and understand that there's love in everyone and in every situation, but you have to be willing to come at it from a different perspective. If you're coming at it from your own perspective and you have a very closed mind, then you're not going to make progress because you're not open to other people's way of thinking. And I find that people tend to butt heads more because you grow up one way, another person grows up another way. And both of you might not handle situations the same way. You guys are very different people. So you have to learn how to communicate with each other to understand each other and how another person's mind works. Because you might ask me a question and I'll just give you some answer. Now, you probably wanted a yes or no answer, or you wanted something that was more specific to what you asked. So it's like in your mind, I expect this answer. This is what I want. In my mind, I answered your question. Granted, it might not have been to your satisfaction, but the question was answered. So you have to step out of it has to be this way and no other way, because I don't think like you and you don't think like me. Just like if I ask you a question, then I have to be satisfied with the fucking answer you give me because you answered my question. Now, if I want a more specific or detailed answer, then my question is going to have to be more specific and detailed. But you have to learn how to work with people and how they grew up and their upbringing, because everyone's not the same, especially if you had a very nice and pleasant upbringing when there wasn't a lot of chaos and fucked upness, and then you deal with someone that has a lot of chaos and fucked upness. You have to understand they're damaged from childhood, so that's a long time of fucked upness. So it's not going to change overnight. It takes time to break the patterns. It takes time to get through to people. It takes time to learn people. So if you're not willing to put that type of time into somebody, leave them alone. Just leave them the fuck alone, because they got enough shit on their own plate. They don't need extra shit on their plate. Okay, so be okay with that. And look at your history. Look at how you've faced and overcome things throughout your life. Whether it's bad situations, whether it's relationship. Hi, Muhammad. How are you today? So look at how you face these things, because you've clearly overcome them. You're here today. So look at what it was for you and say, you know what, I can do this. I am capable of this. Whatever it is that's presenting itself to you, because it doesn't have to be relationship. I just read it as it comes out. And sometimes it is relationship orientated, because it's whoever needs these messages right now. So please ask yourself that and see what it is that you need to work on, because this situation here, it's gonna lead to a commitment, and it's going to be a loyal relationship or loyal partnership. Yes, out of ego and into soul, Dory. That's exactly it. And a lot of people don't know how to get out of the ego space. Oh, thank you. So understand, when you're consistent and you're devoted to somebody, that shows them that you love them, that shows them that you're there. And it doesn't have to be partnerships, it's friendships, family, whatever it is. You show them that you're devoted, and they're like, okay, you're somebody I can depend on. You're somebody that's always there for me, regardless if I've been a shitty person or if I've never been there for you. You're there, because sometimes people just need that. Even if it's hard, because there's sometimes where you are the person that needed that. You needed somebody to be that loyal to you, or you needed somebody to be there for you, and nobody was there. And sometimes we take that and we internalize it, and then we return it back into the world, because it's like, nah, you wasn't there. Nobody helped me get to where I am. And we become kind of cold and closed off. And that's not true. You can't do that. It's just because somebody treats you a certain way doesn't mean you have to return that. Okay, you do better. You give what you would have liked to have received, because there's many times where I needed people. I needed a lot of things, and nobody was there. Not any fucking body. So it's just, I always give, because that's who I am. I want to be there. I want to help you because I didn't have the help. I want to educate you because I didn't have anyone to educate you. That's the only reason I'm here doing all of this. Because I'm pushed to help, and I'm a healer. So this is how I go about doing that. So if I can help you to heal your life, heal your relationships, learn better ways of dealing with things, that is my goal. That's all I want to do, is help everyone to have better relationships and coping mechanisms and get out of the toxicity we fucking grew up with. And it's important for everyone. It's just a lot of us don't know how to do it. Now, you have to surrender your comparisons with other people. And whether it's a comparison at work, whether you're comparing yourself to fucking somebody else's ex or current partner, or whatever the situation is, understand that when you're constantly comparing, all you're doing is saying, I'm not good enough. And that's not true. We're all different. We are different for a reason. We all have a different purpose, and we have different purposes to serve in different people's lives. So the thing that is important is you need to focus on you. That is all you need to focus on. The only thing you need to be better than, or whoever you need to be better than, is yourself. Well, that's good, Dory. At least you owned the shit and you made amends, because that's what you need to do. You have to make amends with people. And if you communicate and you say, hey, people are willing to listen. They are willing to listen. You just have to be open. And that's what I find is easier, is like, I am a tarnished individual. So if I'm going into something with somebody, then I like to just lay all the cards on the table and be like, look, this is my situation. This is what's going on with me. These are the things I'm afraid of. And I'm working really hard to get past that. Are you on board with me? And we can work through this together. Now, if they really love you and they want that commitment from you, then they're going to say yes. They're going to be understanding, and they're going to be patient with you. But you need to communicate that. If you keep it inside and you don't say shit, it's not going to happen. So comparing yourself is not beneficial in any aspect, because even if you're doing it creatively or work-wise, let's say you do it that way, you're saying that you're not as good as that other person, or your ideas aren't better or as good as them. And that's not the case. You bring something different. So how can you sit there and compare yourself when maybe your uniqueness is going to change everything? Don't be like everybody fucking else. Let them be who they are, and you be who you are. Okay? Oh, Sandy, if you only knew. She said, I'm not tarnished. That's very sweet of her. Um, so please focus on your own shit. You know, other people, there are going to be plenty of artists. If you're an artist, there's going to be plenty of musicians. There's going to be a shitload. And everyone, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So what I find appealing to me might not be appealing to somebody else. What they find appealing is not appealing to me. So it's really, there is something for everyone and there is a person for everyone. It's just the way everything works out. It doesn't matter how beautiful, how fucking ugly, whatever. There is a person for everybody. So understand that, okay? Everything is a matter of perception, and everyone perceives through their own eyes. When you're able to step outside of that and perceive it from everybody else's perspective, then you're able to grow and change and understand. But it's important for you to express your own creativity and what you bring to the table. So I don't know, work-wise or artistically, whatever it is, you know, you have to pull this from within, because spirit is going to give you triggers and points and try to lead you to where they're trying to get you. But you have to pay attention. So if something pops up and it's like, oh, you know, I've been thinking about starting drawing again. And then something pops up and like, oh, here's a class or a lesson. Take it. Because it's like, hey, you know, we're trying to guide you to do these things. So even if it's music lessons, whatever the fuck it is something you haven't worked on, go back, start doing it again and work on that, okay? And understand that in doing these things, it's going to bring your, it's going to bring your blessings, okay? It's going to come in, but you have to really trust in you, believe in you. I don't even know how many other ways I could say this, but you have to believe in you and your capabilities. And for those of you that have a spiritual career, don't compare yourself to other people, okay? Especially other readers if you're a reader, other healers if you do fucking Reiki. Like, don't compare yourself to other people. And I feel like that's the biggest challenge, because you see other people that are, maybe they've been doing it their whole lives. So you just instantly like, oh, they know that they're better than me, they this, and you're just starting out. So naturally, yes, they're going to be better, they're going to be more experienced. That doesn't mean that what you have to offer is not valid or it's not as good, okay? It's just different. Like, my readings are not like everybody else's, so everyone is not for everyone. You know, like I say, I'm not for everybody. Some people are for me, some people are not. Girl, just stay positive, like, for real. Be positive. Whatever it is that's going to help you get through this, because you're going to get through it. You're going to get through it. You just got to stay strong. I have faith in you. I believe in you. But definitely, if you have this spiritual career, don't be so hard on yourself, okay? Because you were blessed with what you were blessed with. You're going to help the people that you need to help, okay? So be okay with what you were gifted with. And everything else will develop in time. So don't be so hard on yourself. And you have to just really allow yourself, like, really release this need to compare yourself. And if it's like you're comparing yourself to your ex's, or to your current boyfriend's ex, or to whoever the fuck it is, understand that that's not beneficial to you, because it's taking away from who you are, from what the relationship could be. If you don't have let's say you don't have as much money as the person's ex had, or you don't have as much to offer as the other person had, understand that that only matters to people that are superficial, to people that are materialistic. That is when that comes into play. Now, if that person loves you, doesn't matter if you have a job, you don't have a job. Doesn't matter if you're fucking rich or you're poor. It doesn't matter, because that person is going to love you and want you for you. So don't compare yourself to, oh, well, they had somebody that had mad money and they had everything. They gave them the world. Yeah, they gave them the world, maybe monetarily, but emotionally and spiritually, where it really counts, what did they give them? Because if they're not with them and they're moving on from them, that clearly wasn't enough to keep them. So don't compare. That's crazy. Well, she'll regret it, because money's not everything. And I can tell you, it doesn't fucking matter. Money is, for me, money ain't shit. I can have all the money and I'm like, it's not going to fulfill me. It's not fulfilling. And you have to be with somebody. Like, you just need someone that's going to fulfill your soul. And sometimes, like I said, people come to you because you have money. So this is why it's important to be careful with the people that you choose to have in your life. Because there are people that are going to use you. There are people that are going to take advantage of you. And it sucks. It fucking sucks, because I've been taken advantage of more times than I care to share. But it's because I have a kind heart. And regardless, I always give. I'll always give. Whatever happens past that, maybe you're lying to me about what you need, and that's fine. That's between you and karma. I have no concern. I know that if my spirit told me to give you whatever it was that you needed, then I gave it. So understand, people that do shit like that, it's going to come full circle, okay? Because maybe he's going to leave her for somebody else. But money is not everything. And once people realize that, they become happier individuals. But it's sad that people still do shit like that. It's not good, okay? But your spiritual career is going to bring you unity, So everything has a ripple effect. When you start experiencing love, then you're able to share love, and it goes out throughout the world. And it's important for that now, especially in these times. We all need more love. And you have to have joy in the things that you're doing, okay? There's a person that is a spiritual person or a wealthy person that's going to be coming into your life to help you with what you have going on. You can listen to the advice, or you can not listen to the advice. It's your choice, but they are going to be there to help you in whatever it is you're going through right now. It could be male, it could be female. What I have here, it is a male, but again, I don't know your specific situations or what you have going on. Good morning, Danny. Thank you. So understand, okay, that person, however they're coming to you, be open to them and allow them to come in, okay? Now, for this regrouping. So you have an opportunity to look deeply into your heart and see your thoughts and beliefs that contributed to this situation. So whatever this is here that's causing you to not be certain, or maybe you contributed to the fucked upness that's happening, evaluate it. Like, be honest with you. Go within and say, how did I contribute to this? Maybe it's not something that's like this giant thing. Maybe it's little subtle things that's just like, maybe I wasn't always there. Maybe I wasn't as consistent as I could have been. Maybe I wasn't as honest as I should have been. Whatever it is, identify it, acknowledge it, and accept the shit, okay? Accept what you've done, and accept that we all contribute to shit. Whether it's intentional or unintentional, we all contribute to situations in our life, okay? So don't feel like, oh, well, I'm a saint and I'd never do nothing wrong. That's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit, because we all know how to aggravate the shit out of people. We know how to get under people's skin. We all know how to play the game, so don't lie, especially to yourself, because it's not gonna fucking get you nowhere. Be honest, okay? Especially with you. Now, as long as an external force has power over you, it's basically saying that your inner spirit has no control. So this is more like addictions. If you have addictions, or if you're dealing with somebody that has addictions, they no longer have control, okay? And maybe that's causing them to act irrationally or to lash out at you from time to time, or whatever. Again, I don't know. I'm just going off of what the fuck's here. So understand that this is bad. It's bad, because you're now giving your power over to alcohol, to drugs, to sex, to overworking, to whatever it is that helps you not to feel. So you're killing your soul. You're like shutting your soul down and living a fucking life that's not meant for you to be living right now. You have a spiritual path that you're supposed to be on, and you're not allowing it to happen. You're so caught up with the finances and the spiritual and the addictions that you have, that you're not resting. You're not allowing you're not allowing spirit to come in and give you the blessings, and it's blocking your creativity. So you have to kind of sober up, give up the drugs, give up whatever it is that you're being overly dependent on, and give that up, because your spiritual career, understand that before you came to this earth, planet, whatever the fuck, before you came here, you signed contracts, okay? You said, I'm going to do this, or this is the journey that I'm choosing to take. Now, you chose a spiritual journey. This is not for everybody. For those of you that chose a spiritual path before you came here, you need to give up the addictions, okay? And your need for money, you're being money hungry, that's what you're focusing on. You have to give these things up, because that's the only way you're going to get to where you need to be spiritually. And spirit's not going to allow you to do whatever the fuck you want for as long as you want, because then illness is going to set in, or other things are going to set in that's going to trigger you to follow your spiritual path. So you can do it nicely and willingly, or they're going to force you in a manner that's probably not going to be the best route for you or the most beneficial. So look at your life patterns and look at how you've handled things up until now, okay? So if you have that tendency to gravitate towards substance or people, that it compromises. All these things, they compromise your relationships. They compromise your integrity. They compromise character, emotional, psychological well-being. It compromises so many things when you're addicted. And some people have addictive personalities just because it's something that's inherited from your parents, you know. But it's twice as hard to work against that. You know I grew up with a parent that was addicted to alcohol, and it was difficult because I spent most of my life saying I'm never gonna be that. So that was my deterrent. Some people don't see that as a deterrent. They see it as a way of life, and that's how they start handling shit. So when you're doing this, understand that it's fucking up your relationships with your family, with your friends, with whoever, okay? It's not beneficial. And if you need help getting out of this, request the help. Reach out, okay? Just understand that you need to notice the patterns of your life. You need to notice, like, damn, am I really so engulfed in this relationship? Am I so engulfed in this person that I'm losing who the fuck I am? Am I losing my values, my morals, my character? Look at these things. Acknowledge these things. See who the fuck you are. And allow your soul, because my soul died. Like, I will tell you, my soul fucking was like dead. It was almost non-existent. And it was bad because you feel like you just have no purpose. You don't want to live. Now imagine feeling that way and then consuming alcohol and drugs and doing all these other things to make it feel worse. Like, you're numbing the pain, but really you're just killing your soul. So as you continue to do this, it's like you have no feelings, you have no sensation, you have no nothing, because you're so fucking broken, you can't tell the difference. You have to be sober. Sober up. Stop the sex, the fucking work, food, whatever it is. Boundaries. Okay, get yourself together, because that's not helpful. That's not good for you. Now you have to go within, because I got like 1,000 cards that says you need to trust yourself. Go within, trust spirit, talk to spirit. Now listening, you have to be able to understand what spirit's telling you. Now, this is what I find interesting, because I get downloads, and the downloads that I get are very, they're random. You know, I can be sitting playing with the kids or walking, whatever it is, and, you know, my ears start ringing, and then I'll have these random thoughts, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Why am I thinking this? And it won't make sense, and I can't place it. So I'll remember it, but I let it go, because at that very moment, it's not making sense to me. It's not logical. So spirit gives you messages, and when you have things that don't resonate at that moment, or they don't make sense, write them down, go back to them. Just don't forget about them, because later on, another situation is going to present itself that's going to cause you to be like, so spirit was warning me. Spirit was giving me a message. Spirit is trying to protect me and put me on the right path. Now, I don't know what your path is. I know some of you have the spiritual path. And if you're on that path, it's a real ass fucking path, and it's real ass shit that you gotta go through, and it's a lot of fucking hell, and it's a lot of hard work. Don't think it's easy in any fucking way, because it isn't. Okay, you have to shed all of this shit that you've been programmed with to get out of this. So you have to leave your personality, leave your fucking ego, all of the things that make you you have to separate yourself from. and allow spirit to be, because we're just love. So you have to learn how to let all of these layers, all of these masks, all of these fucking things fall away, and all of the old programming that we have been brought up with. You have to let all of that fall away for you to be free, okay? And be gentle with yourself, because we are our harshest critics, okay? We'll say the meanest things. We'll say shit to ourselves that we would never say to other fucking people. So you need to be gentle with you and say nice things to yourself. I don't give a fuck if you're the ugliest person in the fucking world, but you have the nicest heart. Then you say, I am the kindest person. I am this, whatever. I don't care. You find something good and something positive that you like about you, and you focus on the positive. You do not focus on the negative, okay? Shit shedding is important. Yes, Sandy, shit shedding is important. I guess that's what we're calling it, shit shedding. But understand that as you learn to love yourself and you listen to yourself and you learn to be gentler and more loving with yourself, it's encouraging your personal growth, okay? But you have to love you. I don't know how many other which ways I can say this, but it is important for you to love you first, because it's like, oh, I'm so enmeshed in this relationship. Like, you gave so much love to this person. You just completely devoured, like, you just gave them everything. And you're just dead inside, because you're like, I just exhausted myself. I gave them everything. You can't do that. You give yourself first and everybody else after, okay? And especially if you're a mom, I'm not going to say only mom. If you're a parent, and you're a parent that is, you put yourself last. You know, that's what you do. That's not what all parents do, but for me, for a long time, I was non-existent. I wasn't a thought to myself. You know, it was my kids. It's okay, my kids need this, or my partner needed that. Whatever it was, I was there. I did every motherfucking thing possible. I made sure everything ran smoothly. I gave and I gave and I gave and I gave, and then I'm just like, I'm exhausted. I'm like, I'm fucking depressed. Like, what's going on? So understand that when you're not taking care of you, your body's going to shut down. Your body's going to make you acknowledge that there's something wrong and you need to deal with it and take care of it. So you have to love you, okay? Like I said, I don't care what you start with, something, anything, your eyes, your lips, your nose, your fucking teeth, your tongue, whatever it is that you're good at, focus on those things. But love yourself, because in doing that, it's going to allow your personal growth, okay? All of the things that have happened in your life are for your personal growth, but a lot of us don't realize that, and we're not even aware that that's why it's happening, okay? Because unless you're aware of what's going on and aware of your spirituality and everything else, you don't see things as lessons. You see it as, why did this happen to me? And things don't happen to you. We create them. Whether or not it's consciously or unconsciously, we create them. And when you're able to accept that, it's going to allow you to grow and move past these things. But that's one of the hardest things, is accepting that you created the good and the bad in your life. But believe me, when you do, it's like a fucking shift that you're going to be like, holy shit, I did do this. So really look at your life and think about the energy and the words and your thoughts throughout your life that created the fucked up situations. And you'll start noticing, like, you know what, I did have really bad thoughts about this, and this situation was created, because your soul is going to find a way to get you out of whatever it is that you're no longer wanting. You just have to take the steps. So remember, their spirit's always going to be there, and they're going to help you to release whatever it is that you need to release, but you have to be willing to let it go. Because when you let it go, then you're going to have the satisfaction, okay? And you're not going to have the need to have other people's approval or have worried about what other people think of you. It's irrelevant. Fuck what people think of you. It doesn't fucking matter. That is their opinion, and it's more likely a reflection of them and what they have going on. It's not a reflection of you, so don't be so focused on what other people think and feel about you, okay? So release any old relationships, any old situation, anything that is not beneficial to you. You know in your heart what is good for you, and you know in your heart what is not good for you. So please be allowed to release it, because everything says you have what you need within you. You need to trust your spirit. You need to trust your intuition with what you're being told. And I always say this because I go see readers, and people, obviously they're on here. I just always tell you, trust yourself, because I don't know your specific, I'm sorry about that. I don't know your specific situation. Okay. If these messages do not stop, holy shit. Okay. So I'm so sorry again. I completely just threw me off. So I have to just pick up somewhere because I completely, like, my train of thought is completely thrown off right now. I'm so sorry. So yeah, awesome. So if you have a compulsive need to abandon the present and move forward, never settling anywhere, look at that and reevaluate it, okay? Just see where the fuck you're at in these things, because sometimes, like me, I don't like staying still. Like, it's like, okay, I need something new, I need something different, I need to see another place, I need to be somewhere else. And a lot of that is just probably because in my childhood it wasn't very stable. You know, a lot of my childhood I went from like place to place to place, and I was always bouncing around. So sometimes you carry those patterns over, and then I feel like I feel stagnant, I feel stuck when I'm always in the same fucking place, in the same I'm just like, oh my, it drives me crazy. Like, it just drives me crazy. But understand, you know, it's important for you to be here and now, because there's a reason you're in this. There's a reason you're here, okay? You have something you need to do. There's people you need to meet. There's lives that you need to impact. So don't be so quick to leave wherever you're at, because you're serving a purpose in someone else's life, okay? So be okay with those things. Now, yeah, so if you have that life, then, you know, be okay with those things. God, I'm so frustrated right now. I'm so mad I lost everything. So be okay with what's happening in life. Be okay with what you bring to the table. Be okay with everything that's going on. Allow it to happen, and really just go within and trust yourself, because in trusting you, everything is going to work out fine. But you have to stop shutting shit out and allow spirit to work, because it's like you're praying, you're asking, you're wanting, and you're like, yes, 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 I want, please, please, please. But you're not allowing. It's like you're refusing to open up. You're refusing to grow. You're refusing to let spirit in. Stop refusing. Love yourself. Allow yourself to be open. Allow your messages to come through, because that's when all your blessings are going to come. So if you've been fearful, stop being fearful. And like I said, let the person in, whoever it is, and be tolerant of people, not only people you love, but of everyone, you know, because everyone's going through their own shit, and you don't know what people are going through. So be tolerant of them, not to the point where you're gonna, no, if somebody tries to be crazy, then that's different. But, you know, discernment. Everything is discernment, and how you want to take things and how you feel about things. But be patient with yourself and make sure that you're expressing your desires clearly. Not, I want this person, but I really like this person, and I'm dating this person. That's really confusing for every fucking body involved. So kind of stick with the focused energy, focused intention. Like, if this is the person I want, this is where my energy is going to. That's what my intention is going to. That's why my everything is going to. So if you have all of these people, cut it down into the one person that you really like. This is who my soul calls me to. Not your mind, not your body, because all of this is superficial. Your soul's calling you to a person, go to that person, okay? Because there's going to be loyalty in the partnership, and there's going to be commitment, but you have to communicate. Without the communication, it's going to be problems. So make sure you're being your authentic self, and you're expressing everything that you need to express to whoever the fuck it is you need to express it to. Sorry, I forgot I had other things that I wanted to share. So practice forgiveness and gratitude in all things, okay? And understand that your life is your life. You make your decisions. You're not a kid anymore, so don't let your mommy, daddy, cousins, whoever the fuck make choices for your life. Even if people don't agree with it, even if people don't understand it, even if people are going to talk shit about the whole, fuck it, talk shit. Because guess what? I'm happy, so I don't give a fuck that you're talking shit. Be mad. I'm happy. And that's how you have to look at it. It's not their life, it's your life. You do what's best for you. Now, if you have a decision that you need to make and you're kind of stuck about it, try listing all of your assumptions about the decision. Okay, list down everything that you assume, because it's not fact, it's all assumptions. Fact is what already happened, that's a matter of fact. Anything else is all assumption. So write down whatever your assumptions are about the decisions that you're going to make, whether it's, well, I assume it's going to be horrible, I assume I'm going to be lied to, cheated on, the fucking works, whatever it is, write it down. And then reverse the assumption. What's the opposite of your assumptions? And write all of those down. And if you're going to what if, go towards the better assumptions, okay? Assume the better parts of it, because then it'll bring about better energy, and it'll bring about a better situation, okay? Because if you're focusing on the bad assumptions, then you're going to create those situations. So focus definitely on the other ones. Now, let me see which one I want to read first. All right, let's go with this. When you experience stress or you're overwhelmed, how do you like to be supported? Now, these are just questions for you to ask your significant other or friends, whoever. But these are just ways to trigger deeper connections and understandings and communications, okay? So it's good to know how people like to be supported, because personally, if I'm crying, I don't want you near me. Like, don't touch me, don't talk to me, just leave me the fuck alone. Let me cry, and when I feel better, I'll come talk to you. And there's times where maybe I want to hug, but usually no, because it just makes me cry more. So understanding how people like to be handled is a beneficial thing. Whether it's friendship, relationships, family, it's always beneficial to know. And now, what did your past relationships teach you about love and partnership? And I feel like this is also important, because we carry these things. And just because those people that we dealt with were toxic, or they were broken, or they had their own shit going on and they kind of shitted on us, doesn't mean that future relationships are going to do the same. But you also have to see what you learned from that relationship. Did you only say, oh, well, I learned women are horrible fucking people and I never want to deal with them again? I mean, okay, but that's not really a lesson. That's just you being, you're tainted by what the fuck happened to you. So you feel some type of way. Really see, like, oh, I learned that I need to be more compassionate, or I learned that I need to be more understanding, or I learned that I was giving conditional love. Like, I loved you as long as you did this, this, and that. There is a difference. So you have to see what you learned from your partnerships, and what you're still carrying from those partnerships, and what you're bringing forth into future partnerships. You don't want to bring the garbage. You don't want that. Leave that shit where it was, with whoever it was, and that's it. Don't bring it to your next one. Start on a fresh, clean slate. Like, hey, I've never been in a relationship type of starting, okay? Now, I find this interesting and also important. What similarities do you see between your relationship and that of your parents? Because when we're kids, that's what we see for a relationship. That's what we consider to be healthy and normal and everything else. Only as you get older and you get out of your house and you start realizing, like, damn, my parents had a toxic ass relationship, where this is not how relationships are supposed to be. Especially when you grow up in an abusive household where you see your mom getting beat regularly, or maybe you see your dad getting beat. I don't know. Depends on the person. But I've seen both. So understand that, when you grow up with the toxicity, then yes, you have a very high likelihood of reliving those patterns, reliving those cycles of creating all those toxic behaviors in your own life. So that's why you have to learn better. You have to do better. You have to say, okay, just because I grew up with this doesn't mean that I need to do this, okay? I grew up in an abusive ass fucking household, like blood, cops, regular fucking basis. Now seeing that is horrible and traumatic, but knowing as an adult that I don't want that for me was more important. I was in an abusive relationship, physically abusive, and it was hard to get out of it because you have emotions, you feel bad. So it's like, it's these things, you know, but don't put yourself in that situation. The very first time someone puts their hands on you, there's no sorry. There's no I'll never do it. Don't do that. Fucking leave. Leave. Because it's not I'm only going to do it one time and I'm never going to do it again. They're going to do the shit again. Hasn't fucking failed. I haven't met a person that's like, oh, well, he only hit me once and it never happened again. Nah. Once they do it once, they're going to do it again. And they're going to keep apologizing and they're going to keep saying, I'm sorry and I love you and whatever other fucking bullshit they can think of. Walk the fuck away. Leave as soon as you can. However you can, leave. Okay? That's not healthy. But look at those things and see, you know, what works for you. Like I said, they're just conversation starters, things for you to get to know each other better and build better, stronger relationships. And, you know, I'm sorry I kind of went off a little bit, but I hope you guys enjoyed the message, and thank you for watching, and I love you. Have a good day.